Hey everyone, Jamie here from TechnicalCafe.com, and in this tutorial we're going to be talking about conditional statements in PHP, otherwise known as if, else statements, and how we can go about using them to execute certain blocks of code based on whether a condition is met or not. So a perfect example for something like this might be a bank account alert system that alerts you to whether your bank account balance is low or something like that. And we can actually implement a very basic version of this using some conditional statements. So up here we have our index.php file with our PHP tags in it, and let's go ahead and start coding this bank account alert system up. So the first thing we're going to need is a balance variable, and this is going to hold our fictitious bank account balance. In this case, let's just give ourselves $100 for now. And let's say that we want to be alerted to whether we have below $100. Let's say we have a $100 threshold, and if we get knocked below $100, we want to be alerted to add some more money. So we can do that by setting up an if statement. So we can say if, and follow that by a set of parentheses, and then follow that by a set of curly braces here. And this, whatever's inside of these parentheses is going to be the condition that will cause the code that's between these curly braces to execute. So if this evaluates to true, whatever's in these parentheses, this code will execute. In this case, let's say if our balance is exactly equal to 100, and notice that we're using two equal signs here, and that's because if we were to just use one, we would be assigning balance the value of 100 instead of checking for equality. So if balance is equal to $100, what we're going to do is just send out a message saying you have $100. No need to add more money. And let's go ahead and actually save this code and refresh Google Chrome and see what happens. So because our balance variable up here is set to $100, we're going to receive the message saying you have $100, no need to add more money. Let's say if we were to see what would happen if we were to change this to, let's say, $90. So we have $90 now, and we're checking to see if we have $100. If we come over here to Google Chrome and refresh, you'll notice that now nothing happens. And the reason for that is because this does not evaluate to true anymore. Balance has to be equal to $100, no more, no less, in order for this code in here to execute. So the way we can add another condition to this, if we fall below $100, is say else if, which is basically saying if this, do this, but if this doesn't work here, try this instead. So we're going to say else if, and we're going to set up the same sort of situation where we have a set of parentheses and a set of curly brackets. So we're going to say else if balance is less than $100. What we're going to do is send out a message saying you have less than $100. Please add more money to your account. So now if we were to come over here and check Google Chrome and refresh, you'll notice that because our balance is $90, we're going to be alerted to the fact that we have less than 100, and we're going to be told to add some more money to the account. Let's say, however, if you have more than $100, you want to be told to add this money to your savings account, or maybe you want to set up your bank account to automatically add anything over 100 to your savings account. You can do that, for example, by using an else statement. And in the case of this, because we're not checking for any other conditions other than we have $100 exactly, we have less than $100, we don't need to say else if again, because the only other condition we're checking for is going to be if we have more than $100. You could, however, if you wanted to use an else if you had more than 3 conditions, you could use an else if statement, and you could use however many you wanted, actually, depending on the number of conditions you have. So in this case, let's just, if we have more than $100, we're going to echo, please move some money to your savings account. So let's save this, come over here and take a look. Actually, let's add a 1 to this. So we have $190 now. Let's come over here to Chrome and refresh, and you'll notice that now that we have more than $100, it's telling us to move some money to our savings account. So this is basically how you would go about using if, else statements or conditional statements. Feel free to come up with some other conditions. Maybe if you dip into the negatives, you want your bank account to tell you, you have overdrawn your account, something like that. You could do that by adding another else if statement. Maybe you want to check for, if you have $150, do this or whatever. So if, else statements come in handy quite a bit in programming. One other thing to note too is that you can actually include them within each other, so you could nest an if statement within another if statement, things like that. So feel free to play around with it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.